Okay, hi. Today I'm going to show you how to make a histogram in Excel using the frequency function. So I've got the Chapter 2 workbook open and we're looking at problem 2.41, which in Part B asks you to make a histogram for the data that you see here. In order to make a histogram, we first need to create a frequency chart. So one thing that we need to know is the spread or the range of the data. So I'm going to use Excel to find out what the minimum and maximum values are for this data range. Here's a little tip. If you want to change this to an absolute reference, you can just click on the cell number and hit the F4 key. So the smallest piece of data in the list here is 55, and I'm just going to copy this formula and then change this to max. So we see that the data goes from 55 to 150. So let's see, I'm going to set my classes up to go in tens. So I'll let the first one go from 50 to 59, and the next one from 60 to 69. Oh, Sarah's sending me an email. Excel is smart enough to know what we're doing here, so I'll just drag that and copy it. Okay, so these are what is called the bins or the classes. So we'll put a little label on there. And then in this column, we're going to put our frequencies. And we're going to let Excel do this counting, and let me show you how this works. So in this cell, we're going to type frequency, E-N-C-Y. The data array, that's the actual data, that's this stuff, the actual speeds. So we've got that. The bins array, that's the upper edge of each of these classes. So for the bins, we're going to enter this data here. Okay, I'm going to hit enter, and it's just going to come up equal to 1, but that's okay, because here's what we need to do to get Excel to count how many, say, of all of these data pieces here are between 50 and 59. How many are between 60 and Sarah? 69, etc. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to highlight all of the cells where we want this info to be listed. Then we're going to hit the key F2, and then we're going to do Control Shift Enter. And like magic, Excel has counted how many of the data pieces lie in each of these groupings. Put that in the middle like this. Let's make this bold. We can put a border around all of this. I don't want that hanging out, so we'll make it like that. And so there we have it. No, I'm not going to do that. That last bit was so important that I've summarized it here. Let's check this out. To use the frequency function to output a list of frequencies, select the array where you want the data to appear. That's when I did this. Then hit the F2 key and then hit, all at the same time, Control, Shift, and Enter to get this list of frequencies. And now, making the histogram is a piece of cake. We'll go to the chart wizard up here. The data that we want to use is exactly this data right here. And there you can see the beginnings of our histogram. If we want the labels on the x-axis to correspond with our classes here, then we can do that by going into the Series tab, and for the x-axis labels, we'll just choose these. And now you can see the x-axis labels have changed from 1, 2, 3 to 50, 60, etc. And there's our histogram. We'll take out this thing. I don't like that little thing. We can put a title and all of that stuff on it. The last thing, we're almost done, I swear. The last thing we need to do is double click on any of the bars, click on options, and change the gap width to 0. That's how you make a histogram out of a list of data in Excel.